tonight on Evening.
I'm St. Brian. 45 years after the eruption of Mount St. Helens, a search and rescue pilot shares never-before-seen photos and shares memories of the days that followed.
Go Mariners!
Why this Seattle Mariners game is going to the dogs.
Oh, you love baseball!
Plus, check out some of the bands playing the Fisherman's Village Music Fest this weekend in Everett.
Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Jose Cedeno, and I don't know if you have it on your calendar, but every third Friday on May is National Pizza Party Day. I know it sounds like a not legit holiday, but it's a good excuse to eat pizza. So we thought we will celebrate early by coming to Chef Tom Douglas Pizza Restaurant Serious Pie in downtown. This place has been open since 2006. I talked to the executive chef, Eric Tanaka, about what makes this pie a one-of-a-kind.
To me, I think you're trying to focus on the basics of the flavor. Flavor is flavor as long as you're delivering what you're promising. It's critically about the dough. It's a process. It's not just put it in a bowl, mix it, and then start shaping. We make our own pepperoni, we make our own sausage. Just trying to bring some uniqueness to the flavor of our toppings. I think there's a little bit more character to a fire-cooked pizza. There's a little more char. It really depends on the pizza maker in that regard of kind of crafting each pizza.
Of course, I'm gonna eat some pizza later in the show, but first, this Sunday marks the 45th anniversary of the deadliest eruption of Mount St. Helens. Saint took a look back with one of the heroes of that natural disaster. Hey, Saint.
Hey, a National Guard helicopter pilot who flew search and rescue missions within hours of the eruption is for the first time sharing photographs and memories of the days that followed.
Yeah, my daughter Kim, she put the book together for me.
By flipping through the pages of a scrapbook, Mike Cairns goes back in time to the day a mountain exploded and the world turned dark and gray.
All the trees were down. They were all facing the same direction. All the bark was gone. All the branches were torn off.
A National Guard pilot who served in Vietnam, Mike volunteered to fly into the blast zone in search of survivors. The thick air, he says, smelled like sulfur, temperatures above 100 degrees.
Everything was buried in probably 2 to 3 feet of ash. Just saying, this looks like a moonscape. The closer we got to Mount St. Helens, we saw steam vents and ash vents just blowing stuff up all over the place. And we both looked at each other and said, there's nobody alive here.
If they were going to rescue anyone, Mike and his crew knew they'd have to fly out of the blast zone to places where bridges were washed out by lahars.
My crew chief, Mike Semison, said, hey, looks like there's people beating the ground with their jackets to get our attention.
Sue Ruff was one of 2 campers and a logger who'd been climbing all day through 15 miles of ash-covered debris.
I said to Sue, we're glad we found you, and she hugged me and kind of cried a little bit. But the look on their face showed me that they went through a very traumatic experience.
In all, 138 people were rescued by the National Guard, but most of Mike's mission would be a heartbreaking story of recovering the dead.
These guys were, husband and wife were mummified. It was just horrible.
4 days after the eruption, heavy rains revealed gruesome sights.
Aside from Vietnam, I've never seen anything like this. The bodies were melted, they were destroyed. We found body parts.
The pilots gathered at the end of every day to talk about what they'd seen.
We'd fly 12 hours a day just refueling and searching and looking and trying to find.
Get it, McCartney, get it, go get it.
45 years later, Mike Cairns wanted his story told and realized he'd better do it himself. Under the Ash is a book about his troops' heroic response to a mountain's historic fury. Dangerous days Mike will never forget.
And it's been said that it was the National Guard's finest hour.
Thank You Saint, Mike's book, Under the Ash, comes out June 17. Have you ever been curious of foraging for wild mushrooms? But let's be real, you have no idea which ones are the good ones or what to pick? Well, we find a fun tour that will give you a crash course.
There's a lot of fear around mushrooms, especially in North America. There's a lot less to fear than you would think. These are pretty common right now. They're a little cup called Ciboria rufifusca. So we're here on Whidbey Island on the south end. I run Whidbey Wild Mushroom Tours. You can't go into an alder forest and not find oysters. They're just everywhere. We all meet up at Tilth Farmers Market, and I'll have a table laid out with lots of specimens for you to check out, and they're all labeled, identified, whether they're edible and poisonous will be described. So I started these tours because it's something I've always wanted to do. I've had a lot of friends tell me that I've always taught them things, and they said, oh, you're really good at this, you should do tours. And I'm like, yeah, maybe one day. And then I almost died. I was hit by a car. My leg got ripped off. It was really bad. And when you almost die, everything becomes a little more important, and how you spend your time is important. Let's stay together as a group. So I just wanted to focus on something that would be really fulfilling for me and hopefully fulfilling for others. Keep your eyes peeled for a wonky, crazy looking mushroom. The tours are for anybody that are curious about mushrooms. I think there's a lot of mystery around mushrooms. A lot of people aren't very familiar with them. Ready? Bing!
Oh my goodness.
It is the brightest fluorescent mushroom that we have. So the idea is just to really teach people that aren't familiar with mushrooms how to go about identifying, how to be safe, how to find good edibles, stay away from the bad ones. So this is Stereum ocracioflavum, and I know the names are all over the place and fun. I think a lot of people also don't realize how much there is to learn about mushrooms, how many different unique things there are about mushrooms. There's some mushrooms that you can interact with. Yeah, it's all in our backyard. You don't have to go far. Get up off your couch, walk around your neighborhood. They are everywhere. But yeah, there's a morel. This is the Morchella norvegiensis. Most people are pleasantly surprised with the amount of education they get and the confidence that they feel afterwards, and that they too can go out and do this on their own.
Oh, yay!
It's a little one, but that's a morel. Biggest reward for me is to watch somebody get excited about identifying an oyster mushroom and being able to take it home and cook it up that day. It's rewarding, it's more important to me than money.
Thank you, Travis. The 3-hour Whidbey Island Mushroom Tour costs about $75 per person. And of course, we're gonna have all the information on how to register on our website, king5evening.com. We'll be right back.
Like live music? We'll show you some of the bands playing Fisherman's Village Music Fest. But up next, find out how you can get your dogs to sit, stay, and play at a Mariners game.
Wow!
Local stories make a difference.
I want to check that out.
With the power to enrich lives, strengthen communities, and make us smile. Evening is made possible by Primera Blue Cross. Primera Blue Cross, always in your corner.
Welcome back to the show from Serious Pie in downtown Seattle. And this is how you celebrate National Pizza Party Day. That's right, but it's a little too much for me, so I have a friend right here. Jarek, come, you need to help me out.
Thank you for inviting me, Jose.
Jarek is our fantastic evening editor, and beyond that, he's a crazy fan of pizza.
I
Is
love
that right?
pizza.
Okay, so let's go. I'm gonna offer you one. The first one I have right here is the sweet fennel sausage. Before you make a pick, they make the sausage here in-house, and it has roasted pepper and provolone.
Delicious.
And the next one, if you like potato,
I do.
That one is the Yukon Gold potato. And this is what it has: pecorino, romano, and rosemary.
I like how you say that.
But, yeah, right? I'm practicing my Italian. But if you're a more classic guy, obviously you have the mozzarella cheese, and you have mushroom cheese. So, if you only can pick one, Jared, what would it be?
Sausage.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, delicious.
Okay. I was hoping you didn't pick this one, but you know what? I'm your friend, and I'll give it to you.
Thank you
And it's
so
not
much.
all about pizzas here, Jerry, because they also have, as you see, salads. Now, Jarek, I see that you have a Mariners hat, so you're a Mariners fan.
I am.
They had a pretty solid start this season, right?
They have.
And to make things even better, they have a game coming up where you can take your dog.
I'll take my dog to Lupo, and I'll take this pizza.
Okay.
Go Mariners! Let's go! Big win tonight, guys.
When man's best friend meets America's favorite pastime, it's a guaranteed home run.
He's wearing a Mariner shirt and a bow tie.
This is funny.
The Seattle Mariners go to the dogs every season, in a good way, with Bark at the Park.
Oh, he's gonna have a good time.
He's dog wow.
We're really excited.
He's 10. We're here to celebrate his birthday.
Happy birthday, Walter.
This is Daisy. He's ready for all the home runs.
Dogs must have a ticket. They enter through a special gate and sit in a special section over the third base line in the 300 level. Then they take over T-Mobile Park for the night.
It took a few years to convince some folks, but here we are about 10 years or so later with an average of about 1,000 dogs per game that we do.
There's turf installed for doing dog business.
Good girl, Jonesy.
Doggy treat here.
Four-legged friends also get free treats. Then it's game on.
Oh, you love baseball, yes.
It's awesome. These are basically our children, so we wanted them to experience the ballpark for the first time.
During the game, there are two things that all good dogs dream of. Making it onto the Simba Cam, recreating the opening scene of The Lion King with Pops.
The Simba Cam is great. That has become a big league-wide thing, and people lift their dogs up no matter how much they weigh.
And making it to the end of the game to walk the bases.
People love it. People love it. We wait till the end of the game. Whether we're extra innings or not, people get to walk the bases with their dog.
On this night, after the M's beat the Houston Astros, hundreds of dogs take to the field. And Mariners fans line up to watch. Some pooches even meet a player. Mariners catcher Justin Novak is handing out scratches.
Oh, it's amazing. I'm so glad that the Mariners do this. It's a really fun time to bring the puppies out, yeah.
Bases are always loaded, and it's always a win when the Mariners let the dogs out at Bark at the Park.
I think you think about baseball as America's pastime, right? And dogs are man's best friend, and you get to do both.
Oh my God!
In one foul swoop on a night here at T-Mobile Park.
Good girl, there you go.
Oh, dog fans. The next Bark at the Park is going to be on Tuesday, June 3rd, and that game is going to be against Baltimore. I do want to remind you guys that you have to buy a special ticket for you and your pooch. Now, let's go from dogs to cats, because there's a book that will make a lot of travelers and cat lovers very happy.
It is the perfect side hustle. Travel the world, photograph cats, make a book.
And we said, this is a genius idea for a project.
Right.
The couple behind Cats of the World, Hannah Kitten Lady Shaw and her husband, Andrew Martilla, were meant for the job.
Andrew and I both have worked with cats throughout our careers. Andrew's a cat photographer, and I do lots of education around cat welfare. And we both also rescue cats and kittens.
During their travels, they wanted to explore how the rest of the world coexists with cats. So Andrew began capturing portraits of cats from Argentina to Uruguay, 31 countries in all.
Because people just don't know what cat welfare is like around the world, and it's been really beautiful to capture the differences and also the similarities that we share in terms of the compassion that is just there globally for cats.
There are 750 photos in this book, but these two each have a favorite.
Definitely one of my favorites is this cat in Montenegro. His name is Debeli, and he lives at the top of a mountain in Montenegro in Kotor. And this photo to me just is like, he is the king of cats.
Andrew's favorite is this one, taken in front of the Kuwaiti Towers.
There were a lot of instances where we had a dream, a vision of how cool would this be if there was a cat here. And We approached this area, we had treats in hand and toys, and we were calling for cats, and sure enough, a cat jumped up right in front of the towers, and I snapped the photo.
International travel with certain cat treats does have its hazards.
We were in the Heathrow Airport in London, and Andrew actually got pulled aside from their security because of the mysterious bag of dried green plants. And they were like, "What is this?" And I laughed so hard, and I said, "That's catnip."
Catastrophe averted. And thanks to this book, we now know it's a cat's world. We're just living in it.
By the way, Hannah will be at the Tacoma Humane Society this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, to do live workshops. Now let's talk about roller coasters. Think you know the best amusement park in the Northwest? Vote now in the Best Amusement Park category in EV's Best Northwest Escapes, and you could win tickets to Silverwood Theme Park, the Northwest's biggest theme and water park, with 70+ rides and attractions, including the upgraded Tremor roller coaster and the new Eagle Hunt water coaster. Silverwood is your ticket to summer thrill. Vote by May 18 for your chance to win.
Coming up, find out how you can win a getaway vacation to Grays Harbor. Portions of Evening sponsored by Silverwood Theme Park.
Welcome back to this show. It's the biggest annual event of music discovery in Everett, and it's happening right now.
It's the festival that has been rocking the Everett scene for over a decade.
Fisherman's Village Music Festival has been going on since 2014. This festival really started with kind of a dream of just Everett really having its own weekend to celebrate local music, regional music, and get national touring artists who likely will be playing Everett for the first time. This year will be 3 stages, about 30 acts. When the food is so good, you can't get enough. It's important to us that most genres are represented.
One of the performers for this year is country singer Antoine Tyler.
Grew up in that 360, just another ranch down the road, heading up that highway 2.
Snohomish County is a huge part of my life, so being able to perform here and put on a show and play for the community, I'm just beyond excited for. Now that I think about it, this will be my first festival.
No way.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your music. Why country for you?
It's how I was raised, how I grew up. I would say I'm really just kind of refining like the roots.
She's my Tennessee black label.
The Everett music scene is where it's at. It has a really, really deep kind of like history and really, really cool character. It's a different vibe from Seattle, but I think it's the right vibe.
So this is the room where you're gonna be playing.
It is.
I think you got this.
I'm excited. I'm excited, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I hear it all the time.
The fun thing about Fisherman's Village is every year it changes. This will be the first year it's all indoors, and the first year it's all kind of in one building.
This is the Apex, one of the largest rooms of its kind north of Seattle. We're excited about what this is going to look like over the next 20 years.
As you can see, there's a bright future for the festival that celebrates music, arts, and culture in Snohomish County, big city.
If you're coming here as a fan, you can expect phenomenal music, phenomenal presence.
Things are changing really quickly here. We're excited.
Fisherman Village Music Festival is going down right now in downtown Everett and runs through May 17, that's Saturday, and tickets are still available.
Now in our 39th season, Evening shares local stories that make our community shine. Thanks to support from PEMCO Insurance. PEMCO empowers the Northwest to prevent the preventable. Learn how at PEMCO.com. Best Northwest Escapes is sponsored by Unforgettable Grays Harbor County.
Look at this triple coconut cream pie. Wow. Welcome back to the show. I think I have something very important that you should know. Best Northwest Escapes voting closes this Sunday, May 18 at midnight. If you don't vote, you can't win, so go to King5/Escapes to vote for your favorites. Each vote enters you a chance to win a Grace Harbor getaway to Seabrook, Westport, and Ocean Shores, worth $5,000. There are 50 categories. That means 50 chances to win a vacation to the coast. Vote for your favorites best Northwest Capes before it's too late. That's all the time we have for tonight. I want to say thank you to Serious Pie for hosting us. Ciao, and it's time for my pie.